The sun was dipping low over the city park, spilling warm streaks of orange across the playground. Children's laughter rang in the air, mingling with the rhythmic creak of swings and the patter of sneakers chasing one another on the grass. Amidst the families scattered across the park, one woman sat quietly on a weathered wooden bench, her eyes fixed on a little boy darting through the playground. She was delicate in appearance, small frame, modest clothes, hair pulled back in a simple knot. To the casual eye, she looked like any other single mom, slightly withdrawn, slightly shy, carrying the invisible weight of life's struggles on her shoulders. Her name was Dawson. And to everyone in that park, she was just another mother watching her son play. But Claire carried a secret, one she never shared, one that defined her more than anything else. Claire wasn't just a mom. She was an undercover FBI agent, specializing in high-risk operations. She had stared down drug lords, infiltrated crime rings, and faced men who would kill without blinking. Yet in this park, none of that mattered. Here, she wanted to be invisible. Just a woman, just a mom. Her son, Ethan, was the center of her world. He was 7 years old, with bright eyes that held more hope than she thought the world deserved. Every free day she got, she brought him here. Away from the chaos of her double life, away from the shadows of the criminals she pursued. But peace is a fragile thing, and on that warm evening it shattered. It started small. A group of teenagers swaggered into the park, loud, restless, looking for trouble. They were older, 16, maybe 17, with the kind of arrogance that comes from never having been told no. They spotted Ethan first. He was climbing up the slide, smiling, laughing. A boy lost in joy. One of them, tall and lanky with a cruel smirk, muttered, "Look at the little baby, still playing on slides." The others snickered. Ethan froze for a moment, confused, but kept climbing. Claire saw it all from the bench. Her body stiffened. She knew that look in their eyes. She had seen it in interrogation rooms, in alleyways, in the faces of grown men who enjoyed the pain of others. Bullies. At first she hoped it would pass, kids being kids. But it didn't. Within minutes, they surrounded the slide, jeering, mocking Ethan's small size, his stutter when he tried to speak back. One even shoved him lightly, enough to make him stumble. Claire's heart pounded in her chest. Every instinct screamed at her to intervene. But something inside her said wait. If she rushed in too quickly, she'd embarrass Ethan, make him feel smaller than he already did. She wanted him to stand tall, to believe in his own strength. Still, her hands trembled in her lap. She was no stranger to violence, but when it was her son, every moment cut deeper. Finally, she rose and walked over. Quiet, calm, her footsteps deliberate. She placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder, steadying him. "That's enough," she said softly, but her voice carried a weight that made the teens pause for half a second. Then the leader sneered. "What's the matter, lady? Can't your little boy handle a joke?" The others laughed. Claire studied their faces. Her FBI training kicked in instantly. She noticed the tattoos on one boy's wrist, local gang markings. She saw the way another kept checking over his shoulder, restless, twitchy, signs of drug use. These weren't harmless kids, they were trouble. Real trouble. Ethan pressed against her side, whispering, "Mom, let's just go." His voice cracked with fear. But Claire didn't move. She met the leader's eyes, unflinching. "Walk away," she said. Her tone was calm, but her stare was piercing. It was the stare of a woman who had looked into the eyes of killers and never flinched. The leader smirked wider. Or what? For a long moment, silence stretched. Then, one of them spat on the ground near Ethan's shoes. That was the breaking point. Something inside Claire snapped. She had spent years hiding her strength, burying her identity beneath layers of normalcy. But now, in this moment, those masks fell away. She stepped forward, her posture changing in an instant. From timid mother to trained operative. Her voice hardened, sharp as steel. "You think you're predators," she said evenly. "But you're just cowards looking for smaller prey." The teens hesitated, confusion flickering in their eyes. Claire reached slowly into her bag and pulled out her badge. The gold glint of the FBI crest caught the fading sunlight. Their smirks vanished. "You want to keep testing me?" she asked, low and controlled. Because I've dealt with men twice your size, twice your arrogance. And they ended up in federal cells, crying for mercy. So I'll ask again, walk away. The silence was deafening. Then, one by one, the bullies backed off, muttering, cursing under their breath, but shaken. They melted out of the park, their swagger gone. Ethan looked up at his mother, eyes wide with awe. For the first time, he wasn't just seeing Mom. He was seeing the truth of who she was. The park slowly returned to normal, but for Claire and Ethan, everything had changed. She knelt in front of him, brushing the hair from his forehead. Mom, you're an agent, he whispered. Claire hesitated. For years, she had hidden this from him, to protect him, to keep his life normal. But tonight, the truth had found them both. Yes, she said softly. But more than that, I'm your mom. And that's the most important job I'll ever have. Ethan's eyes filled with tears. Not of fear, but of pride. You were amazing. She hugged him tight, holding him as if she could shield him from every cruelty in the world. That night, when they returned home, Claire sat on the edge of Ethan's bed as he drifted to sleep. Her mind replayed the day over and over, and she realized something. Strength isn't always about fists, or guns or badges. Sometimes, it's about standing tall when the world tries to break you. It's about teaching the next generation, our children, that they are never as powerless as they feel. To every parent watching this story, to every person who has ever felt small, invisible, or pushed aside, let this be your reminder. You carry more strength than you know. You don't have to be an FBI agent to protect what matters. You don't have to wear a badge to fight for dignity. Sometimes, all it takes is courage. Courage to speak, to stand, to refuse to bow. And sometimes courage is contagious. That night, as Ethan drifted into dreams, Claire knew he had learned something that no bully could ever take away. The knowledge that inside him, too, was a strength waiting to rise. And maybe, just maybe, one day he would use it to change the world.